Hey guys, welcome to Train Check YouTube channel. In this video, we will be solving this CodeWars Kata 8 algorithm question, remove duplicate from a list. So in this Kata 8 algorithm question, we are to remove duplicates from a list and then return the rest. So we are taking int array as an input. So we are taking int array as an input, then we have to loop through it and then remove the duplicate items inside it, and then return the rest. So as you all know, we'll be solving this this algorithm in Visual Studio so that we can debug and see how it moves. So let's get started. So I'll copy this now and take it to Visual Studio. Then I will so I'll be solving this algorithm question in two ways. I'll be solving it in two ways. So I'll be solving it using hash sets, and I'll be solving it in another way like that. So let me first start with using hash sets. So let's get started. Yeah, so this hash set is used to remove duplicates from a list or an array in C#. Yeah, it is used to remove duplicates from a list. So it will remove the duplicate items inside a list. So that is why I'll be using this hash set for the first way I'll be solving it. So let's continue. So I'll use this hash set to filter it, and then I will then create another list to save the final results. Oh, sorry, to save the final results. So the hash set will be used to check if the int to remove the int, or to check for duplicates in the array. So in this array A now, this hash set, I'll use it to check for duplicates inside it, and then while I'll be adding the ones that I want to return, which are not the duplicates, which are the normal ones that I'm supposed to return, I'll be saving them inside results. So I'll be using for each loop here. So I'll be using for each loop instead of for loop. We've been using for loop for long, so let's just use for each loop today. I can also achieve it with for loop, but let's just use for each loop. So for each item in A, A is the name of the array that we are accepting as an input. A is the name of the array. So for each var item in A, if so we now use if statements. If filter dot add item. So if this if the item inside this array is being added to this hash set filter hash set successfully, that means it does not contain duplicates. That means it is not a duplicate. So we look through it for each item inside this array A. If the item is being added to this filter hash set successfully, that means it is not a duplicate. It is not a duplicate. So if it is being added, then we will enter this place, and then we will now add the item to this result. So that will now be result dot add item. So if the particular item in the array is being added to the filter, is the hash set successfully, that means it is not a duplicate. Because if it encounter a duplicate, it will jump this if statement, it won't add it. So if it is added successfully, that means it is not a duplicate. So it will enter this if statement, and then we will add it to the result. So we then, after we are done looping through it and we have added all the items we need to add, then we return the result. We return the results dot to array, because return type is an array, int of array of integer. So we then return it and then convert it to array. So that is the first method I'll be using to solve this algorithm question. So that is the first method. So let's now run this on debug and see. Let's run it on debug and see. So like we normally do, declare int input, which is or int a, like they gave us, equals new int. So I will then have to go and copy this example given to us here. So this example, we have to remove all the duplicates and then return the rest. We have to return all the duplicates and then remove all the duplicate and then return the rest. So now I will then control right line, and then since this method is inside this Kata 8 class, I will then have to first call Kata 8 dot distinct. That's the name of the method. I mean, that's the name of the method. And then I will pass this a, the array a inside it. So let's run it on debug. Let's run it on debug. Let's see. So let's set a breakpoint and run it on debug to see how it moves. So now this is it. This is the array that we are accepting as an input. We have 1, 2, 1, 1, 3, 2. So we have duplicates inside it. So now let's step over and see how it moves. So now filter hash set is 0 count, and then result 2 is 0. So now we will start looking through the array A now to see. So for each item in array A, so if filter dot add item, so let's check. The first item is 1, so it's added successfully. So now filter will be 1. It will now be 1. There is 1 inside filter. We've added 1 to this filter, which is the hash set. So since it is successful, it will enter the if statement and also add the 1 to this result. So let's step over. So once that one is successful, it will also add the 1 to this result. So we have 1 here, we also have 1 here. So let's continue. It will go again. Item in A. Now we are having 2. So it will check if filter dot add item. So if this item is being added to this filter hash set, that means it is not a duplicate. It is not a duplicate. So let's continue. It will enter to add it and also add it here. So now we have 2, we have 1 and 2, and here we also have 1 and 2. So the next item now is, let's check, is 1 1 3 2, and we already have 1 1 inside it already. So let's continue. Let's see. So it will go for var item in A. So if filter dot add item is successful, that means it is not a duplicate. But if it is not successful, that means it is a duplicate. So let's see. The next one is 1, and we already have 1 in this filter. We have 1 and 2. So let's see. It jump. It does not enter it because it is a duplicate. We already have 1 inside this hash set, so it will never enter. Hash set will never allow duplicate item inside it. So since we already have 1 inside this hash set, this filter hash set, that item will not enter because this item at this particular time is 1 and we already have 1 inside the filter. So it will jump. So it will jump it and we won't be adding it to the result too. It will also jump. So let's see. Let's continue. So again, let's check. The item at this particular time is now what? Is 1. Again, we have 1. This is it here. 1. So the item at this particular time is what? Is 1. So let's go. It will jump it again because we already have 1 inside this filter hash set. So it will jump it. So let's see. Let's continue. So the item at this particular time is now 3. We don't have 3 yet inside this filter. So let's see. It will enter because this filter hash set does not contain the particular item at that particular time. So it will go. It will enter. So it will add it. Filter is now what? Is now 3. Filter is what? Is 3. So filter is now 1, 2, 3. We already have 1, 2, 3 inside filter. So we also add it to the result too. 1, 2, 3. It's already there. So it will go again. Look for the last time. I think that's the last. Okay, 2 is the last item inside the array. So it will go again. So 2 already exists because this filter now hash set we already have 1, we already have 2, and we already have 3 inside it, which is 1, 2, 3. So and this item at this particular time inside the for each loop is 2, which is the last item inside the array. It is 2. So it will check, does filter contain the 2? If it contains 2, it will jump, it will never add it. It will jump. So we have looped through all the item inside the array. So we will break out of the loop and then return result. So now result has the normal items we are supposed to have. We have removed all the duplicates using hash sets and lists. So we've removed all the duplicates. Now we have 1, 2, 3. And that is what we are supposed to return here. 1, 2, 3. So this is the first method we'll be using to solve it. Then we return it. So we solved it using hash sets and lists. Solved it using hash sets and what? And list. So let's see. Let's copy this code here now to CodeWars to see if we will pass all the test cases. Okay, namespace, 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 error. So we have to copy this hash set namespace. Okay, I think is this guy here. The trending tags. Wait, I think it's this guy. Yep. So let's try. And also lists. You have to copy this system.generic. So sorry, that's not the namespace we are supposed to copy. So we are not supposed to copy that. So when we are using hash sets, the namespace should be using, let's use this guy here. System.generics. Yeah, it falls under system.generics. I've forgotten. Sorry. It falls under system.generics since it is also a list of items. It's also list, so it falls under system.generics. It falls under system.generics. Yep. So both list and hash list falls under system.collections.generics because they are both collections. That is why we are able to filter to add items to it. Hash sets, lists, they are all under system.generics. So they are all under system.generics. So that is that for that. Let's test. Okay, we already passed the test cases. So let's use another method to solve it. So let's use another method to solve it. So anytime we are writing code in we are not writing code inside Visual Studio, we are writing it somewhere like this that does not have auto, does not have intelligence, or that will not bring out the using statement automatically by itself. We have to know some things that fall under these using statements, maybe list, array, all these hash sets, they falls under system.generics, and we also need to have ideas of some other using statements too, so as to know the right using statements to impute whenever we are getting such error. So let's move. So now we'll be solving this using another. Okay, let me just comment on this and then we move. So we move. Okay, so now I'll be solving this using just lists. Using lists, I won't be using hash set this time around. Still under list. So what I'll just be doing now is I'll be checking if, okay, I'll use a for each loop too. I'll use for each loop to loop through it. So for each var item in A is the name of the array. So if um result dot contains item, if result dot contains item, so result sorry, if result does not contain item, so we have to use the not symbol here. So if the result here does not contain this particular item we are looping through at that particular time, we should add the item to the list. So we will add the item to the list. So and then that is just what we have to do, and then we have to return results. We have to return result dot to array. So let's now start. Let's debug and see. So what we are just doing here is just to declare a list of ints where we have to save all the results we want to return, and then use a for each loop to loop through the A array, which is an input, the incoming array, which is A, array of integer, and then for each item inside the array, if results, which is the list we are saving all the results, does not contain the particular item we are looping through at that particular time, we should add it to the list. But if it contains the particular item that we are looping through at that particular time, it will skip, it won't add it to the list. That is just what I'm doing here. So let's run it on debug and see how it moves. So yes, let's run. So this is it here. This result is 0 at this time. At this particular instance, it's still 0. So now we have to look through it, through the array now for each var item. So at this particular time, the item is what? Is 1. The item is 1. So let's see. It's 1. It's 1. So let's see. So since 1, the result does not contain 1 at that particular time. There is nothing inside the results, and the result does not contain that 1 at that particular time. It will what? It will enter the if statement and add that 1 to result. So now the result already has 1 item, which is figure 1 here. So it will go again for each var item inside A. If result does not contain the particular item we are looking through at this particular time, which is what? Which is 2, it will add it. It will enter the if statement and add it. And result does not have 2. It's 2 at that particular time, so it will enter, add 2. So now we have 1 and 2. So we will continue the loop. If result does not contain the particular item we are looking through at that particular time, and the particular item we are looking through now is 1, and result already contains what? 1. Already contains 1. So it won't enter. It will skip the if statement because 1 already exists inside what? Inside the result. It won't add it. It won't enter. It will skip it. So let's continue. The next item we are looking through now, yeah, the now is what? Is 1. So 1 is still inside. Result already contains 1. So it will not enter the if statement. It will also jump. So the item we are at this particular time is what? Is 3. And result does not contain 3. So we check if result does not contain 3. It should what? It should enter. It does not contain 3 at that particular time. So it will enter. And then add 3 to result. So now we already have 1, 2, 3 inside result, which is what we need to return. We already have the items we need to return. So it will check again if result does not contain the particular item, which is 2, but result already contains 2, which is 1, 2, 3. So it will skip and then break out of the loop and then return the result, which is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 we are supposed to return. So that is that for that. This is the second method we'll be using to solve it. The first one is using hash set and list, using hash set to filter to check if it does not contain duplicates, and then adding the necessary things we want to return inside result and then return it. But in this method, we are not using hash set, we are just using list and then using if statement dot contains to check if the item is not inside the list and then we are returning the result. So that is that for that. So let's copy this and then take it to CodeWars to see. So if I remove these two, you'll see it will bring it will still not add. So like I said earlier, hash sets and list, it falls under system.collection.generics. So let's test this guy here. So we are still getting the error, which is list could not be found. You are missing a directive. So it's because I removed this using statement for system.generic. So you just have to put it back using system dot collections dot generic. So yep, so I'm supposed to add semicolon here, sorry. So that is that for that. We passed all the test cases. Now let's attempt and submit. Let's see if we still have any other things we need to fix. So we are not having any other thing we need to fix. So the two methods will work. Either you use hash sets to filter to check if something does not contain duplicates, or you just use the dot contains method. Any method you wish you want to use or you think is best for you, you can just use it depending on what particular algorithm you want to solve at that particular time. So guys, don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, like this video, comment on it, and turn on the notification icon so that you can get notified anytime we upload new content. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching. God bless you.